welcome back. This is going to be a little solo side mission with the character from the lads who did not get to participate in the last quest. So with me, I have...
Hello, I'm John Dacre. Now, but for real though, I'm Baatu Mankhad. If you forget, it's okay. I probably will as well for a little bit. But I am a Zayla Aura samurai fisher and part-time chef. So I'm hoping to become a line cook one of these days.
Interesting.
It's my
some big dreams right there, yeah.
I want to be a line cook at like a small town diner.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any sort of brief synopsis of who you are as a character, since we missed out on that on the last one?
Oh yeah. Do you want like backstory?
Yeah, whatever you want to go into, just kind of who you are as a...
Okay. Well, Baatu was the tribe chef for the Mankhad tribe until there came a day where he saw this like big like mammoth creature kind of bullying another tribe, and he saw a strange individual kind of intervene on behalf of the tribe and sort of cut the beast down. And Baatu was kind of watching from a distance, and he heard the guy say that this beast was unlawful and that it did not deserve to live if it was just going to be like a bully. And Baatu really took that to heart, and he offered the man a meal in exchange for some knowledge. And over the next couple of years, they kind of became close pals, and eventually it came to be revealed that guy was a samurai. He kind of started teaching Baatu the ways of the way of the blade, and then Baatu just sort of incorporated that into the Mankhad fighting style of poison darts and blowguns. So he can basically like his preferred method of communication is a blow dart from 200 feet away, and then a real gap closer with the sword. But he's kind of a goofball. He doesn't take himself like too seriously, but when it comes down to it, he can kind of buckle down and make things happen. But really, he's kind of just a goofy chef.
Nice. So, there's a big missive board of things that are available to do, and the lads took on their own quest, but the evening before, Baatu saw one that kind of caught his eye, and it was for an order of lemons and anchovies at the Bismarck, which is a famous restaurant in Limsa Lominsa. And Baatu was he could not stay with the lads for their quest with such a high, like, prestige level restaurant calling for both of his trades. It was his opportunity to show off his fishing skills and get into the restaurant that is just highly regarded as one of the best cuisines in the world. So how would you pass that up? So, as you guys know, there was a note left by Baatu that morning that said he had gone fishing, so to speak. And Baatu sees himself on a boat arriving at the pier of Limsa Lominsa, coming in under those giant white cliffs and metal bridges as he comes into a city that is just completely unknown to him. And he gets off on the docks in Limsa Lominsa. Boats everywhere in the pier. There's a thalassocracy, which is a city. They're based on like their maritime structures. Like everything's run by their ocean trade and like their warships and things like that. That kind of governs everything that goes on in the city. And so there's a big focus down there. There's like crates moving everywhere. There's the yellow jackets, which are their like military force on land, or like helping move things around. You see like maelstrom officers, commanders, and privates all doing their stuff. Just like this is the true hub of it. It seems a little overwhelming to you.
Oh yeah.
Since there's just so many people in such a small little area.
I'm a small fish in a big pond right now.
But you do see directly overhead, overhanging, a big sign that it's kind of hanging down, just looks like a big loaf of bread. And you are kind of aware of just the sounds of a kitchen up there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, if that seems like the place to go to get like a taste of the local cuisine, Baatu's in.
All right.
He'll make his way up there.
And that's where your missive was posted from. So
cool.
As you go up there, you see just this really nice overhanging pier of a restaurant that just overlooks all of the ships and all of the duties that they're maintaining and everything they're doing. You do see the clientele there does seem to be of a higher class.
Okay.
You don't see very many like middle class or lower class people that are
Gotcha.
in the restaurant, but you do notice, being a foreigner yourself, that there is a pretty big variety of people that are there. Even though they're all pretty high class, they're not all from the same area.
Gotcha.
So this does seem like a place that
Right.
like pretty worldly people come to. Like it's
Okay.
just, it's that popular.
Gotcha.
But the missive you had was from Unsenwolf.
Hold it.
If you want me to spell that for you,
Yeah.
I can. It's UNSYNWILF.
And it's Unsenwolf?
Unsenwolf.
Okay. Unsenwolf posted the
Green Sleeves is his last name.
Green sleeves. Okay. Unsenwolf green sleeves. Okay. So I suppose is there I don't think I know what that guy looks like.
Okay.
So I will go. Is there like a person? There's like a host or a hostess that sort of stood at the...
Yeah, as you, because you don't really, you see a lot of people in chef garb, you're like, I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to.
Yeah.
But you do go into kind of the kitchen area, and there does seem to be a clear kind of counter with two people standing behind it. Both of them are Highlanders, one male, one female.
Okay. I will. I guess if they're both available, I'll kind of just stand in between them awkwardly, and Baatu will just say that he'll inquire as to where he might find Unsenwolf Greensleeves.
And the male behind the counter is, are you looking for Unsenwolf?
Yeah.
He's behind. If you go back around where the dining area is, just hang a left and you'll see him. He's usually got his arms crossed, standing against the wall.
Oh, thank you. You've been very kind. And Baatu will give a very traditional, very deep bow to this individual.
And he just kind of does like an awkward salute, not really knowing what that means.
Okay. And then Baatu gets a very big smile that he got a local greeting. That's a big deal to him. And then he'll follow the instructions to the best of his ability.
Okay. So as you go outside, let's roll a perception check.
Oh no. Okay. First roll. Come on, baby. +6. 9.
Oh no. So
See hundreds of people with their arms crossed.
So you do see. I mean, there are a lot of people, and it's really,
he's overwhelmed.
It's really obvious to tell who is a client versus who works there. Everyone who works there seems to have some manner of apron and hat on.
Gotcha.
So that much is very clear. But you do see two options. There is a taller Rugadine male who's off to one side, kind of arms crossed, leaning against the side of the building. And then you see another female Rugadine, and she's off to the side, kind of leaning against a pole with her arms crossed.
Okay. The guy said he's outside, so I'm gonna roll the dice, so to speak. And I'll approach the gentleman. Again, he'll give a very deep bow and say, "Good tidings. I am Baatu of Tribe Mankhad. I am come to answer your missive regarding the need for anchovies."
Ah, the anchovies. Yes, the Bismarck is always in need of anchovies, and some of the fishermen here find it beneath them, so I'll take any that you can give to me. Do you have some?
I do not. I have just arrived in town. I came to announce my intention to assist you. And to hopefully request a spot of information, if you will, on where I might find these fish.
The anchovies are all over Lanasha, even here in our city itself. As you have a fishing pole, I hope, at least.
I do, and I will present my weathered fishing pole.
A novice, yes. Very well, yeah. Like I said, you can go anywhere, even in the city. You should be able to catch some fairly easily. If you are in need of bait, Jossie inside, she can supply some with you. For, of course, a small fee.
Yeah.
But other than that, I will pay you for each bushel of 3 that you bring me.
Each bushel of 3.
Yes.
You got it, sir.
All right.
Will do. And he'll give another very deep bow, and then Jossie.
Jossy.
Oh, okay. So literally exactly like I expected like JOC. What? No. Okay. So he'll give another deep bow, and I will head back inside.
Okay.
I will go back to my 2 friends that are sort of stood there and say, are either of you Jossie?
And the female behind the counter goes, yes, that's me.
I am come to purchase bait, please. I am in need of bait suitable for capturing anchovies.
Oh, so you're gonna get some anchovies? Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, the favorite is of course the rat tail, but that is for a little. Looking at your rod there, that might be a little out of your league. But otherwise, I do have some goby balls you can use.
Excellent.
And those would run you 2 gil apiece.
How much gil do I have?
You have 500.
I have 500.
You have 500 gil.
Is it like a 1-to-1 thing? Like one goby ball is potentially 1 fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Typically, when the fish bites it, they're eating the bait.
They eat the bait. Okay. Thank you. I will purchase. Now, when you say I have 500 gil, am I taking from the treasury?
No, each of you will have.
I have my own.
You have your own
gil?
500.
So if I blow it all on goby balls right now, no one will know or care. Awesome. They're 2 gil apiece. He's paying me for bushels of 3. I want to try to get I'm talking 15 anchovies.
Okay.
Baatu wants to go above and beyond.
Okay.
So it's 30 gil, and then I want to get some extras in case I flub it.
Okay.
So I'll say I'll get 20 pieces of or 20 goby balls.
All right, 20 goby balls, and she hands you a little tackle box about yay big, and it even has a little strap on it. But she goes, here you go, here's 20 goby balls.
Excellent.
And then, of course, when you're done, I expect the satchel back, unless you'd like to purchase it when you're done.
How much is the satchel?
The satchel is 300 gil.
Yeah, I'll bring it back in good condition. I'll clean it before I return. So 40 by about... How many did I say?
About 20, yes.
20 for 2 is 40. That's where
yes.
the 40 came from. Okay, so I have 460 gil. Just put that somewhere. Okay, I gotta recoup my investment here. Okay, I will give a deep and courteous bow to the fair Jossie,
Okay.
and I will say,
And she kind of looks at her brother for a second and looks back at you and kind of does the
Yeah.
same salute that he did.
he is again quite pleased. He will say, "Thank you for the benevolent transaction. I will make my way to the seaside."
You're welcome and good luck.
He's so pleased with himself right now that he's got. Not only did he purchase like bait, but that he's made friends. But also in the back of his mind, he's like, Small Master would be so mad when I come back with a $300 tackle box. Where's all the money? I bought this beautiful box. It has a strap on it.
Oh, come on, dumb phone.
So Jossie sells bait. Goby. Okay. Got some Goby balls. Got 20. Okay.
I want to pull up one more thing.
One more thing. Okay, Goby ball times 20. I have as many Goby balls as I have hit points. I feel very well equipped.
Okay. As you leave the Bismarck and you're kind of up top now and you overlook and you see all the ships in the pier and the city kind of stretches behind you quite a ways and everything beneath is ocean.
Ooh.
You have plenty of options for where you would like to fish.
Okay. Baatu's gonna look around for a kind of secluded spot somewhat away from the bustle of the city where he could like kind of set up shop, maybe lay out like a little blanket or something to sit on and just sort of cast his line out.
Okay. You want to roll a perception check?
Not really, but here we go. Go! 8! We're getting worse.
So you don't really see anything that perfect.
Oh, yeah.
But with what you do see, you kind of make the realization that there are kind of two levels to this city, and you're kind of up top.
Okay.
So where anywhere up top here, you could cast your line, but you're going to have a much
longer way to pull it in.
Yep.
And my weathered fishing pole might need some duct tape. Okay. I guess him noticing that he'll try to make his way to like the lower portion of the city.
Okay.
He'll start wandering his way down there.
Okay. So you kind of get a look for of the local flavor here as you look for just any way down. You do pass through a tavern called the Drowning Wench.
Oh, very nice.
And there's kind of a staircase down there that spirals down into the main plaza where there's just people everywhere. Like almost shoulder to shoulder, packed theme park status.
Oh, no.
You do see a very large blue central crystal. Behind it is a big alleyway of just stalls and shops and things.
Okay.
And you do kind of see like two paths branching off to the left and right that seem like they kind of go down to like quieter areas that might be a good place to set up.
Perfect. Does Baatu have any idea what that big crystal is?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It looks a little different from the ones he's used to, but
Okay.
the glow and the color of it, he's pretty aware that would be an aetheryte crystal.
Okay, I'm trying to figure if that's something he would, in the moment, be like, I should touch that, or if he's more focused on the mission. And I think right now he's more focused on the fishing.
Okay.
So he'll go, let's say odds is left, evens is right.
Sure.
He's going left.
Okay.
He'll go left.
All right. As you walk down this left path through this crowd of people, you see all manners of shapes and races that you've just never encountered before. It's really odd to you, but you're just so focused on like I want to catch my fish that you're like these are things I'll have to ask Small Master about.
Yes. He'll sort of take note of some of the stranger things that he's seen.
Okay.
And he's like, for later.
Let's roll a d6 here. Let's see which one strikes you the most.
6.
Okay.
That's the highest roll I've rolled.
And then let's roll a perception check to see as you walk by how much detail you kind of glean off this.
15.
Okay, so you see a surprisingly short individual about the height of Small Master, but he is just kind of coated in leather and like really big ears. He's like wearing goggles, but there's nothing that you can see on this creature that where you can actually see what it is. Like every inch of it is covered.
I'm trying to figure out if he would say about as tall or about as small as Small. He would say tall. He's respectful. About as tall as Small Master. He said he's got big ears.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a mask and goggles?
It kind of sounds like, to your knowledge, a machine. Like it doesn't even seem like it's a living thing. Because you don't see any skin, there's no hair, there's nothing natural, and you just kind of hear these like shh kind of sounds coming from it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So he sounds like...
And that was the most...
How would he phrase it, though? Because I don't know if he, like, is he aware of, like, what a machine would be?
I think you would be... The closest analog, like, sound-wise, would just be, like, if you had a quick release of steam, or, like, a geyser, kind of.
Yeah, he would probably put it like that. Sounds like a geyser, but more frequent. So, like... Okay. And he's gonna look at that and kind of give like a respectful nod to be like, all right, you know, another Small Master, of course. Not nearly as wise, but doing its thing. But he'll give it a quick and curious nod, but he still wants to be respectful. Anybody that he accidentally locks eyes with, he gives like a small nod.
Okay. Just kind of out of his element.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. He's just trying not to like make any waves, but he understands that like a tall half dragon man kind of draws attention. So he's kind of just trying to be respectful and
gotcha.
Move through the crowd. He's like Wilt from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Okay.
He's like overly polite,
but
just trying to figure out how he got here.
As you go down this left path, it's kind of it winds down. It's very curvy, and it just kind of like rounds about and like makes this like, I don't even know what you'd call that kind of shape, but it's like this curve to it, but everything's very round. And there's about a 2-foot wall around every side, as hopefully people don't just stumble off into the ocean. But towards the end of the curve, you kind of see over it, there's a little bit of a plateau that goes down, like a little bit of land, and it's not man-made in that. Somewhere you could be without the obstruction of that.
Excellent. He will make his way down there, and then he's gonna check just to be sure if this land like belongs to somebody.
Okay.
Or if somebody looks like they've already kind of posted up, is probably how he would put it.
Okay. You want to make a perception check?
Yeah.
Or insight, I guess.
Insight? Oh man, either way, they're the same, I guess. It's 23.
Okay. Finally seeing nature and not something man-made.
Yeah.
You kind of just look at it and you can see there's nobody there now. It doesn't look like anyone was here recently, or any sort of stakes have been claimed, but you can kind of see with the way that the dirt and the grass are there that it is often walked on. So it's kind of like worn down, like it's common that people are on it, but there's no one there now, and it doesn't seem like there was anyone there recently either.
Okay. This seems like a decent enough spot where he could fish and potentially make some more friends. So he will post up. He'll lay out like a little blanket or like his bedroll to sit on, and he's very careful with the very expensive tackle box. He'll put it down gently, But he'll just be like probably 8 or so feet away from the water.
Okay.
Is where he wants to kind of post up.
Okay. It's about a 10-foot drop off from where you're at.
Gotcha. Then maybe he'll get a little closer then.
Okay.
He'll kind of maybe he'll stand. He'll stand up and like he'll put the bedroll down with the. He'll still do that. He'll still put the bedroll out with the tackle box.
Okay.
And he'll prepare himself. He'll take a deep breath. Get ready.
Okay. Are you gonna cast your line out?
I'm gonna cast my line out.
All right. So let's roll a d20.
We can have it, boys. It's a 12.
12. Okay. All right. So now you're gonna roll a second d20.
Oh, okay.
So as someone who has fished before, like for sake of example, let's say Small Master were to cast his line out.
Yeah.
He doesn't really understand the process of it because he's never done it before.
Okay.
But as someone who has fished before and kind of knows the idea of it, initially this first kind of check is for like what kind of fish you're gonna get, and then your next roll is gonna be if you catch it or not.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Round 2. 8.
Okay.
It's not looking good.
So you cast your line out, and you know that an anchovy is a small fish.
Yeah.
So you kind of you work your line in a way that like small fish would be more attracted to as the bait moves through the water, and you do feel a tug, and you do feel a bite.
Yes.
And as you start to reel it in, it suddenly gets very light again, and your fisherman instinct kind of tells you that one got away.
Okay. Okay. Is it a reasonable conclusion that we've lost the bait? He should reel in.
Do you want to check?
Yeah. He'll reel it in just to be sure.
Okay.
He's very cautious about this. He wants to do well.
So as Baatu reels it in, he knows that the bait is missing.
Okay. So the first cast unsuccessful. Just for the fisherman's log. And he'll take one of his little like kind of claw fingers in the dirt next to him and mark off a 1.
Okay.
But he'll do like he'll put like a sad face or like a happy face.
2 different columns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll put one in the sad face.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. And then he will apply a secondary goby ball.
Okay.
And I'll mark down number 2.
A 2. Okay. You cast your line out.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about your journey here.
Yeah.
And do you remember what brought you to Eorzea over from the Far East?
Initially my tribe told me that as somebody with a good heart and kind of an eye for the people, he should travel afar to help others the way the samurai that taught him once did.
Mm-hmm.
But then with the sort of rising tension between the empire and sort of all that stuff going on in the east, he decided it might be a good idea to sort of skip town, as it were.
Sure.
So he offered his services as a fisher and a chef to get on board a ship and kind of head out here, and he landed probably somewhere near Thanolin, where he met Small Master and found yet another wise teacher that could teach him many things.
Cool. And as you kind of reflect on that and how you've kind of found a new master in Small Master, you realize your line hasn't really moved at all.
He'll kind of shame himself a little bit. He'll be like, "No, stupid, bad, no." So if it hasn't moved at all, he'll leave it out there. But he's like, "Okay, focus.
Okay.
Focus your mind."
Okay.
And he'll sit there and just he'll concentrate. He'll try to feel the vibration in the pole and feel the tides.
Let's try it again.
So is that an unsuccess?
In theory, yeah.
Okay.
Like nothing bit.
Okay. 7. Good.
Okay. So this time, you do feel a little tug. on your line.
Okay.
And now it's time to react.
Okay, so no biting into the bite. Come on, buddy. 2. Use a different dice a little bit. Okay, so that one gets away.
Yeah, that one got away again.
Unsuccessful. He will, contrary to how people might think he would feel, he's not disheartened. He understands that the sea is a fickle mistress, and he lets that one go. He reels the line in, takes another deep breath, takes the little goby ball, methodically puts it on the hook, and he'll cast out again.
Okay.
Here we go. Drew's disappointed in his dice. Baatu's very motivated. He's ready to go. Come on, buddy. Make it happen. 14.
Nice. So you do feel another bite on your line.
Attempt number 3. We got a bite, boys. We got a bite. Get it. 10.
10.
And an anchovy.
As you're pulling it in, you're so nervous after all these bites. It's just a little anchovy. And as it kind of crusts the water, you do hear the familiar flapping of a fish.
Yes.
And you reel it in, and it is indeed an anchovy.
Yes! Oh, he's done it. He's done it. Okay. Oh, he forgot to ask. They probably need to be dead, right? They want like dead anchovies.
We're gonna do an intelligence check for that.
Oh no. 3. He will, having forgotten, he's gonna panic and be like, oh, and he's gonna look around for a source of water and like a bucket to see if he can put the anchovy before it dies.
Alright, so let's roll a perception check to see if you can find anything that was
natural money. A creature's life is at stake.
As you panic and you look around and you turn directly behind you to where this kind of cliff meets up with this wall, there is actually a bucket just sitting there.
I will grab the bucket.
Okay.
I will grab the bucket, and he's just sort of cradling the anchovy in his 2 hands, and he'll walk over to the bucket. Is there anything in the bucket?
There's nothing in the bucket.
Okay.
Not even water.
He's gonna look around. He's gonna grab the bucket. Then the water's like below me, right?
Yeah, about 10 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet. Okay. He's just like, he's got nothing. I don't think he has water with him. He's just gonna be like, well, you know, better to die quickly than suffocate. So he'll place the anchovy nearby and just kind of thwack it on the ground.
Okay.
Just hard enough to kill it, but hopefully not like explode it.
Okay.
Ruin his first catch.
Sure. Let's roll a strength check. I don't know what that would be. Is there something for like you want to hurt it, but like you're trying to control yourself, like more finesse?
I would roll it as a strength check that you don't want to roll too high on. You're trying to do just enough, but not crush it.
Sure.
So it's like a nested check. You would set like, here's the upper limit.
Okay.
Lower limit.
All right. I've got. All right, you're good. Go ahead.
Here we go. Come on, buddy. 17.
Right in the threshold.
Oh god. Okay.
And so you do kill that anchovy.
Catch. Okay. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna, in a moment of potential ingenuity, because he's wise, he's gonna take the fishing line and attach it to the bucket. Is there like a handle on the bucket?
Yeah.
And he'll lower it into the water and try
Pull
to
it
get
up.
some water on there
Sure.
and pull it back up.
Okay.
That way the fish doesn't start to like rot and stink and all that stuff. And he'll put his first catch into the bucket. We got it. We got one anchovy. We got one anchovy.
And as you kind of set up your bucket, you do see another Rugadine kind of dressed in yellow with a helmet on. He just kind of has his arm on the ledge as he's resting and just kind of watching you do your thing.
Excellent. Is he like nearby?
Yeah.
Cool. Baatu will once again very methodically one goby ball, pierces it onto the line, and he'll cast it out again.
Okay.
Come on, buddy. 18!
18. Nice. You do feel another bite. This one is, you kind of can tell it's stronger than these little anchovies that have been nibbling.
Oh, man. Okay. He's inside. He's probably panicking, but externally he's like, deep breaths. Reel it in. Just reel it in. Whatever it is, we'll figure out a purpose for it. But at the back of his mind, he's like, what if it's big and it eats my dead anchovy? Okay, here we go. Reel it in, buddy. He didn't reel it in.
What'd you roll?
It's not important.
Okay.
I mean, it might be. It's a 1.
Just as quickly as it bit, it is gone.
Stronger bite. Long gone. Okay, so that's my 4th piece of bait. Just
rest in peace.
Into the ether. 15 might have been a bit optimistic for catches. Look at that. Look at that beautiful one you rolled there.
It happened.
Yep. Okay. No, we'll keep using it. Just because one betrayal does not a bad dice make. Okay. So, try not to be too disheartened. He'll reel it in. And then he'll once again, he'll apply the bait, and then he'll cast his line out, and then he's going to engage this individual in conversation. It's a 14 again.
Okay.
And then he'll kind of call out and give like a subtle bow and say like, hello.
Hey.
How goes the day for you?
Pretty boring. Not a lot of action today. Just kind of checking things out. Just saw you fishing there. Haven't seen one of your kind around here.
He just goes, oh, well, I am Baatu of Tribe Mankhad. I come from the Far East. And then he just awkwardly like trails off into kind of focusing on the rod for a second.
Okay. And you feel a bite instinctively.
Oh! Get it, buddy. 3.
And as you kind of like reel it in, and you get another fish eludes your capture.
No.
And
But
the Rugadine kind of sarcastically just remarks, looks like you're having some trouble catching some fish.
yes, the fish are being quite difficult today. Sarcasm kind of.
Have you ever tried using more bait?
He's running through. He's trying to think of what Small Master would say, because he's trying to appear wiser and smarter than he is. But he would say something to the effect of like fish, like he doesn't want to use more than he has to.
Okay.
So he's like he's only like to each according to their need. He's like, well, one bait will get me 1 fish. It is just a game of patience.
But wouldn't 2 bait get you 2 fish?
Let's see. What would he do or say? He'll say, perhaps someday. And then he'll throw another line out.
Okay. And roll an insight check as this Rugadine kind of walks away.
18.
18. And you kind of see him like snap, and he pays his friend a couple gil. It looks like they were trying to mess with you.
Oh. He'll understand that it's a different culture, and he'll forgive them. But he's inside. He's a little hurt, but it's okay. He'll recover. All right, number 6. I only got 15 more, so
About 1,000.
I got one dead anchovy that I beat to death on the stones. Alright. Come on. 7.
7. Okay. A little defeated from that interaction.
Yeah.
You quickly forget as you feel another nibble on your run.
5. Come on! Ah!
And another anchovy escapes your grasp.
Alright. Bite. Another one for the log. Okay. Number 7.
Do it up.
Okay, I'm gonna go back with one dead anchovy in a bucket that I'm borrowing. Can I buy more bait, please? 9!
Alright, and you do feel another bite.
The sea is generous today. 11!
And this one easily comes out of the water. It is another Lominsa anchovy.
Yes. Okay. I will for the moment place it in the bucket.
Okay.
Does it appear to be going after the dead anchovy?
No. It's just kind of circling in the bucket.
Catch.
Alright.
You got 2!
2.
And subsequently killed the first. Okay. Number 8. 12.
Alright, another bite.
I got a bite, boys. 18.
18. Just handily
Yes.
pulling that one up. Another anchovy.
Yes. I will place this one in the bucket. He'll observe them for a moment to make sure they're not going after the dead one.
No,
Because I might still need it.
they seem a little relieved just to be in water again and not necessarily picking on each other or doing anything.
Excellent. All right. Number 9. 6.
6. And you do feel a nibble.
The sea is generous today. He says that every time he gets a bite. 11.
And another catch.
Weird.
As it just starts to become clockwork. Set the bait, cast the line, catch the fish.
Fishing. Or is he just not rolling like trash for a moment? He'll place it in the bucket. He'll give, at this moment, a deep bow to the fish in the bucket, thanking them for their service. And he will set another bait. 16.
16. And you do feel another nibble.
Oh my god. The sea is generous today. 18!
And another easy catch.
Woo! Internally, he's like, I cannot wait to regale Small Master with the tale of my exploits.
Nice.
He's very excited. Let's see. He's halfway through the bait, and he's got 4 alive anchovies and 1 dead anchovy. He will. No, he'll keep going for a minute.
Okay.
For a hot minute. He's gonna try to get 6 alive anchovies, and then walk back to the Bismarck.
Okay.
And see if they want them alive or dead.
Okay.
And then he'll come back to finish.
Okay.
But 2.
And this time, as you cast out your line, you're just thinking about your bounty and how things have kind of turned around for you in this little fishing bit. Kind of sad that that one guy wasn't there to witness your fishing prowess, as you come to terms that the line hasn't moved at all.
Not disheartened. He'll just work the line for a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see. 11.
All right, but you do feel a bite now.
Natural 20.
Nice. So as you pull this anchovy in, you do recognize it's an anchovy, but you're kind of questioning it at first because of how big it is. It's probably twice as big as the other anchovies you have in your bucket.
What? It's a monster anchovy. It's a river monster. He's gonna make a documentary.
Nice.
Okay, so he's like a mega anchovy. So I have 4 normal anchovies. We got 1 mega anchovy. We got 1 dead anchovy. Okay. Hot dog. He's very excited. He's quite pleased with himself. He goes under the smiley face marker. He draws like a big line. He's like, and he'll make sure that this mega anchovy doesn't go after the other ones. He's very conscientious. He doesn't want. He would hate if he had basically like put prey in a bucket with a predator. That's what he's trying to avoid.
Roll an insight check.
Natural 20.
So
26.
Lamins and anchovies are not native to where you're from.
Yeah.
But fish similar to it are, and you liken it to some fish that you used to practice catching when you were learning how to fish, and you know that none of them are carnivores. So
we're good.
You kind of wash over with peace of mind that they will not eat each other.
Excellent. He will. I'm trying to think. He would probably at this point he would thank the kami for their gift.
Okay.
That's something he picked up from the samurai teacher that he had.
Okay.
So it's kind of a foreign thing. He doesn't do it often. But he'll kind of take a moment and kind of like center himself and thank the kami for their gift, and for he'll also attribute his sudden knowledge of anchovy interactions to like one of the kami kind of blessing him with the gift of calm.
Okay.
That's probably something he would do. Okay, here we go. Having centered himself, he's got mega anchovy in the bucket. He'll cast his line once more with another goby ball. That's a 2.
And you kind of cast your line out, and you're thanking the kami, and it's reminding you of your old master before you came here.
Mm-hmm.
Before again reeling, you've spaced out a little bit, and nothing has bit.
Yeah. He'll spend some time thinking about his early days as both a samurai and his fledgling years as the part of the Mankhad tribe. He'll think back to some of the friends that he lost in the big steppe battles that used to go on, and he'll find himself kind of tearing up a little bit. He kind of wipes it away, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fishing." And he'll jiggle the line once more.
It's a very thoughtful activity.
Yeah. It's an 11.
All right, and you feel another nibble at your line.
Oh, okay. So this one's a nibble. Got it. I'm very cautious with the word. 19.
19.
Look at that.
Because you expertly pull in yet another anchovy.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so he's got 4, 5, and then mega anchovy, but he's kind of on a roll. So what he's gonna do, he's on the play till you lose.
Okay.
He's gonna fish until he's unsuccessful.
Okay.
And then he's gonna take everything he has, and then anything excess that they don't want, he'll figure out a use for.
Okay.
But if they want them in bundles of 3, here we go. I should write it down first. 13. Okay. Let's strike another line. 16.
16.
He's throwing it way out there.
Yeah, you kind of really cast your line out there, and you're working it, and you feel a familiar, bigger bite that you experienced earlier in your fishing today.
Perhaps on catch number 4. Okay, so he's got a stronger bite.
Yes.
Dang. No, I want to know what it is.
And as it bites, you start pulling it in, and it's fighting you. And it's a lot more than these little anchovies can chase you. And about halfway through, it kind of breaks away.
No. Okay, he was unsuccessful. Okay. He'll kind of look out and be like, that's the same fish. Twice. Coming and stealing my goby balls. But then what he'll do is he'll pull out like a small piece of parchment.
Okay.
And like a little quill, and he'll write, "To whom it may concern, I have briefly found a need to borrow this bucket.
Okay.
I solemnly swear I shall return within the bell," or whatever the phrase is. And he'll be like, "Carry with you the knowledge that it is being used to provide nurturing sustenance to the good people of this fair city, and the bucket shall be returned and cleaned within the bell."
Okay.
He'll kind of write that, and he'll place it gently where he found the bucket, and he'll make his way a little bit more gleefully back towards the Bismarck.
Okay.
With his bucket of fish.
Okay. And then is there anyone in particular there that you'd like to speak to or show these to?
I suppose him being unsure of like who actually wants the anchovies, he'll go to the person who asked him for it. So he'll go to Unsen Wolf.
Okay.
Greensleeves.
Okay. And anything you want to say as you approach him?
He will walk up. He still has his like big fisherman's hat on.
Uh-huh.
He'll take it off and hold it over his heart, and he'll sort of kneel down and place the bucket of fish before Unsen Wolf and say,
"Okay,
I have come with the sea's bounty."
Okay, and you have...
I have 5 normal anchovies, 1 mega anchovy, and 1 dead anchovy.
Okay. So as Unsen Wolf kind of looks over the bucket, he is kind of overtaken by this large anchovy. That's quite an anchovy you got there. Did it put up a big fight?
It did, but the fates were merciful, and they guided my hand.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, I will take all of these. I do need them in groups of 3. If you want to keep one for yourself, you're welcome to.
Certainly. He'll just casually pluck the dead one out of the bucket and just like into a pocket or something.
Is that a snack for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
for
cool.
later.
So, he comes up to you, and after he kind of takes the anchovies back, and he goes, "Thank you for your delivery. This is an unending sort of venture, so if you ever find yourself in excess of anchovies, I will happily pay for either 25 gil per bushel of 3. So this is the 50 gil that I owe you. But that monster one is kind of in and of itself, so I'll give you the option of if you would like 20 additional gil or this voucher down for the markets, because I see you're renting one of our tackle boxes. Granted, it's not going to be as nice, but you could at least get one for yourself."
Oh, absolutely. He will give like a very deep and meaningful bow, and almost kind of he'll think. Let me see. From his travels, not with Small Master, but with Skarn,
Mm-hmm.
he'll think whether he should bow or kneel.
Okay, wait.
Before this guy.
Do make a history check, and then
+2. 12.
Okay, so I have a cool thing if it was high enough, but
okay. Yeah.
So from Skarn, you kind of remember that they kind of do this like fist bump before they do like a head nod.
Okay.
And that's kind of what you see him do.
He will. Baatu will attempt to replicate Skarn's sort of fist bump into the like half kneel, but he'll bow deeper than Skarn usually does, kind of fusing two greetings together.
And Unsenwolf lets out a little chuckle as he returns it a little more proper than what you did, and he just goes, "Till sea swallows all."
Baatu goes, "That's really cool." Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he'll, for clarity, he will happily take the voucher.
Okay.
Because he would, he would see it as unlawful to take more money for a higher quantity of the same thing.
Okay. And he tells you to take that down to Hawker's Alley and find the Fieldcraft merchant and give him this promissory note, and he'll give it to you.
Fantastic. In the meantime, he'll pull out like his small belt pouch kind of thing, and he'll scoop the goby balls in there, and he'll pull out a small rag and some of his like the polish that he would use for like his culinarian's tools, and he'll very, very diligently clean out the tackle box, polish it to a nice shine, and he'll once again he'll kind of kneel and return the tackle box to Unsenwolf.
And Unsenwolf says, "You can take that to Jossie. I don't use that."
Of course. Yes, of course. And then he'll kind of sheepishly sort of stand back up, dust himself off, and he'll walk back inside over to Jossie and say, the tackle box was very helpful, thank you.
Oh.
He will present it in a deep kneel.
Thanks for returning it. She kind of just hucks it to the side into the pile of the other ones.
But regardless, he would see that as like it's hers to do with as she pleases.
Yeah.
But he will return it in better condition than he found it. And on his way back down to where he collected the bucket, he'll sort of be like kind of drying out the bucket, holding it upside down, using a rag to dry it out. He can't make it shine because I'm assuming it's like a wood bucket kind of.
No, it was a metal bucket.
Is it a metal bucket? Okay. Yeah, he'll make it kind of polish and shine. He'll try to make it better than he found it. He'll make his way back down to the note, place the bucket back. He'll pick up the note gently and he'll just tuck it into his pocket for later use.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I need to change how many goby balls I have. I have 7. He's got 7 goby balls. We profited from this venture. He's gonna try one more time to fish.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. You know what he would do next? Because his priority was put the bucket back. Because he said he would. So he'll try to find this Hawker's Alley.
Okay.
As he was directed to. He will attempt to locate this, and he'll look for the Fieldcraft merchant.
Okay. And you're back up to where that kind of hubbub is, and you just see that big line of stalls.
Yeah.
And you kind of assume this kind of has to be the place.
It's a big cartoon zoom in on his face.
What? And there are a lot of options.
Okay.
So let's roll a perception check to see if you can glean which one is which.
That is an 11.
Okay. So there are 12 stalls, kind of. You see 3 on each side, and then it kind of opens back up to the outside again, and then you can kind of see there's even more beyond it.
Oh no.
In another room.
No, Baatu.
And you're kind of looking around, and right now you're seeing a bunch of battle axes and like chainmail.
He'll make a note for later. Skarn would like this place. It's full of metal stuff. There we go.
Okay. But everything here kind of seems like it's suited for battle, and maybe not what you're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay. He'll kind of make a mental note to tell Skarn about this place. To be like, hey, I saw a place that's full of just big heavy metal weapons. It seems like it's your style. And then he'll kind of just casually stroll past all that because all the bloodshed stuff makes him a little uncomfortable when it's not precise.
Okay.
He sees the battle axe as like it's a tool for sort of a, I'm trying to think of a word he would use to describe it, but it's a tool of like the uncivilized, coming from a tribal nomad. He's like, everything they do is precise. They use all the parts of their kills, and he's seeing a battle axe as like it would just destroy everything that you would try to keep intact. But he's like, no disrespect to anybody that would use those, but it's not his style. So he'll keep going.
Okay. And you kind of come out and you're in the sun again, kind of out of that little merchant area, and you see another one in front of you. But let's make a perception check first.
Okay. Let's roll this die. 19.
Nice. So as you come out, you're immediately greeted with yet another tunnel and more stalls in there. But you do kind of see to the left, there's this big kind of winding path down and a sign over it that just says Fisherman's Bottom.
Ooh. Okay. He's on a mission, but he's going to make a note of that sign.
Okay.
He's going to try his darndest to remember where that is. Because he's quite interested to see what goes on in a place named after the posterior region of a fisherman. He's quite curious. But he will, he'll sort of gauge the room and see which place might be the most likely to accept this sort of voucher, which is just a foreign idea to him. That somebody would give you a voucher and you could exchange that for...
It's kind of more like a promissory note, like he wrote, like Unsenwolf wrote, like, hey, please supply this, like, I'll feed you dinner, kind of deal.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so he still sees it as kind of curious, because he's used to providing a service in exchange for money, but he's like, this... He would probably see the promissory note as like, oh, this is how people do things.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to figure it out.
Okay. And let's make another perception check as you're in the other half.
Alright, here we go.
Of the merchant alleys.
25.
Alright. So there are a bunch of stalls, but the one on the middle right, you see a fishing rod. You're kind of familiar with that. You see a pickaxe. There's like things for harvesting plants. They have different fishermen's hats, tackle boxes, different kind of like shirts even to help out that. There are a lot of options over there.
Okay. He's gonna approach this person with like, he's trying to hide it, but he's not doing a very good job. He's really excited. But he thinks it's strange and exciting that people in the West, so to speak, would have clothing for a specific occasion. Yeah. Let alone like just to help them fish. So he's tickled by it. He's like, oh, this is how they do things. I should investigate. But he'll approach and he'll probably. If the person is a Rugadine, he will do the Skarn bow, and if not, he will do his traditional.
It is a Rugadine.
Okay. He will walk up, and he will do his best impression of Skarn. Okay. Which, this is me predicting how Jordan's gonna talk. He'll kind of pound his chest and say, "Hail, friend," and give like a deep bow. And the Rugadine behind the booth just kind of lets out a little bit of a belly laugh, and he goes, hail! What can I do for you today? I have provided a... How would he put it? I have provided supplies to he would probably call him Master Unsenwolf at the Bismarck.
Okay.
And in exchange, he provided me with this promissory note. I was wondering if I could perhaps exchange this for some of your or an item of your stock.
Old green sleeves, huh? And he kind of takes the note and he reads it and he's like, marmot steak does sound good. All right, sir. Well, here's what he has got for you. And he kind of hands out this like modest little tackle box. It's probably about the third of the size you got from the Bismarck.
Okay.
And your fisherman's knowledge tells you that it can probably hold 30 total pieces of bait.
Okay. For now, tackle box. So right now, it has no problem holding the 7 remaining goby balls. So he's quite pleased. He will do kind of another like thank you. He'll pound his chest and give another bow, and just say he's gonna inquire about the price of the fishing gear, like the hats and the shirts.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you are wanting, or do you just want a rundown of?
He's mostly curious that they would have like a fishing shirt.
Oh,
that's the thing he would probably ask about first.
Gotcha.
It'd be like, he's being so confused about it. He's like, hey, not even like, what can you tell me about this shirt, but like, why is this shirt?
Why is it?
Yeah, something to that effect.
Oh, well, the fishermen here like to use specialty shirts for a number of reasons. First and foremost, being in Limsa, or if you go over to Thanalin, it protects you from the sun, protects your skin, whereas other lighter shirts do not. They're also, to a degree, waterproof. So while the shirt doesn't matter as much, the number one thing is the boots. Because I'm sure, as you know, there's nothing worse than soggy feet.
Yes.
So things like that. Now, where these fisherman shoes wouldn't be ideal for, say, hiking or combat, they will just keep you more comfortable in your fishing times. And, you know, as a fisherman, if you're at peace and in the right state of mind, you're more likely to catch more fish. Am I right?
Definitely. Okay, so he will inquire as to the price of goods for probably more specifically the shoes, because if he ever fishes in water, he'll take his boots off and just kind of roll up the legs of the pants. He's racking his mind of like, what's something unique and interesting that he could bring back and be like, small master, look what I've learned.
Yeah.
But he's gonna take a note of shoes and other clothes for fishing can protect from the sun, which is a foreign concept to him because he's got like almost like dark green skin.
So what were you interested?
These special shoes.
Okay.
For fishing.
Okay.
And the special shirt.
Oh, the shirt. Okay. So the shoes I have here, they are leather shoes, but they are made from waterfowl skin, so they are water resistant for your feet. They sell for 115 gil. For a pair.
Excellent.
And
they are my Crocs.
They come in many colors.
Yeah.
And everyone will make fun of you.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So you got some waterfowl leather shoes, and they're
115
gil. Okay.
Yes. And then, let me get to the shirt.
Yeah, boy.
That's ingredients. In the meantime, the fishing pole that he has on there is a maple fishing rod made out of maple wood.
Ooh.
That is native to Gridania, so we don't get many of those here, and we don't have many carpenters here either. So that one goes for 274 gil.
That's so specific. Okay.
It's
Gridanian maple, though.
yes.
Does Baatu know what Gridania is? Just offhand.
I think you would be aware that it is
A place?
like Eorzea is made up of 3 city-states, which
Yeah.
is Limsa, Lominsa, Gridania, and Ulda. Like he's kind of aware that that's a thing, but beyond that,
Because he spent some time in Thanolin with
yeah,
Small Master. I don't think he's ever gone into Ulda proper.
Probably
Even if
not.
Small Master's gone in there, he probably waits outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is aware that Gridania is a place that has trees.
Yes.
That's probably the extent of his knowledge. Got it.
And then, yeah, so that's kind of it. Kind of like if you're like, I know Belgium's in Europe, but that's about it.
Yeah, he would know like random like, oh yeah, the Belgian waffle.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with it. But,
Anything,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other options you see on the wall, there's like a fishing bandana to kind of soak up some sweat so it doesn't get in your eyes. And there is also a doublet vest. So it doesn't have any sleeves. You would kind of have a fisherman's undershirt for that.
Yeah.
But it does help kind of like free up your arms and be a little more perceptive to the fish that you are catching, and the vest will run you 308 gil.
Okay. I think that Baatu would be enthralled with the new fishing rod,
Okay.
but he would see it as wasteful for the moment if his weathered fishing rod was able to get him this far.
Okay.
So until basically like he's gonna keep that in the back pocket of like, okay, there are better fishing poles out there, but for the moment he's gonna be like, okay, we need to be reasonable. This one got you this far, and look at he's basically like, look at what your skills and the fates got for you.
Yeah.
Just for trying.
Okay. Roll an intelligence check too while you're inspecting this pole.
Oh yeah. For sure. 13.
Oh, you don't have a... That
Nope.
sucks. So as you kind of look at this maple fishing rod, at first glance, it seems a little out of your skill range to use at the moment.
Gotcha.
There are things on there that you're like, oh, what does that do? What's that kind of do?
Like, why is there a button on a fishing rod? Okay.
But there are some aspects of it that you kind of attune to, and like, oh, that could be used for, I could see why that would be helpful. Kind of like it's a new concept to you. Some of them you're like, I don't know what that is, but some of them you're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Gotcha.
So like you're getting there, but you're not quite there where that you would be able to use that as effectively as it you would hope.
Yeah. So he probably has some like sentimental attachment to the weathered fishing pole.
Okay.
But he'll probably be like, you know what? Someday I'm gonna have that.
Okay.
And that'll be that'll be his new like short-term goal, is to get a little more in touch with his fisherman instincts.
Okay. And you do see on the counter of the stall, now that you're not looking up at everything, he does have a wide variety of baits if you need to resupply or if you want to look at anything else.
Yeah, I'll take a quick glance down at some of the baits.
Okay. So let's roll another perception here, or some wisdom.
Yeah, whatever.
Some overall wisdom.
Wisdom +4, natural 20.
Oh my god!
I know everything about every worm that's ever wormed.
So there's kind of two categories here on his bait table.
Okay.
There are a bunch of bigger slots that have just like bugs and writhing insects.
Oh yeah.
Kind of kept in little containers. There's some worms that are like little pill bugs. Like bigger, like red wiggler bloodworms.
Oh. Okay.
And then there's another category where just kind of hanging there are these, and this is a new concept for you, these like inanimate objects. They're kind of more mechanical, but knowing what you do about fishing, you kind of see this as a way to catch fish without continually using bait. So
Gotcha.
While they would latch onto it because it's like an attractive new source, like maybe it looks like a live thing, they're not able to actually eat it. So it would last you longer.
Okay.
Than catching those things.
Yeah.
But even those kind of seem a little out of your realm at the moment.
Okay. Is there? I'll ask the guy behind the counter. In Drew speak, it would be, can I get a Reader's Digest on one of these?
Sure.
But Baatu would be like, what is the purpose of these? Even though he's kind of starting to get it, he would be like, hey, as an inquiring mind, like what is kind of the benefit to using these, and is there one that is perhaps more affordable that I could use as a foot in the door for using this kind of bait?
Sure. These are what we call tackle, where these down here would be bait. They offer a way typically to catch bigger fish because they mimic non-insect bait. Like take this floating minnow here. You kind of see it represents a minnow. And it has two hooks on either end, so no matter what end they come at, you're going to get to keep your floating minnow. But it's going to attract fish that eat minnows, and those are in of themselves bigger fish. So the fishermen that are looking to land the big catches tend to use these. As for something a little more your speed in this realm, it's kind of a hybrid between the two, but the popular bait that would catch just about any fish you can think of in Limsa are these rat tails, and they're just actual tails off of rats.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty gross, but it's not like a live bug, but the way that the kind of salt water interacts with the tail, it kind of curls in on itself, and it's kind of like a worm.
Okay.
And so it attracts fish to it like a worm, but then they don't eat it because it's not.
Okay.
So you're going to be able to get more catches out of one rat tail than you would say a worm, but it will still degrade much quicker.
Okay.
So that might be a little more your speed, and we sell those at 4 gil a piece if you're interested.
4 gil a piece. Okay. Time to do some math. He's gonna get. So these, like each rat tail will take up like one spot in the tackle box. Okay. He'll get.
Yeah, it's always 30 because you can have a mix of, like, even if you get one tackle, you still have it. It might go away eventually, so it's never hurts to have more than one.
Yeah.
But you don't need as many, but you still have the room if you want live bait.
Okay, so we're gonna do 5 rat tails. So I'll spend 20 gil.
Okay.
Go back down to 490. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 rat tails. Because he's curious now. He's like, he's got my attention with this new idea for fishing. Because, like, again, he's kind of internalizing every time somebody goes, or you could try this. It's like, this is how they do it. So he kind of looks at that as he's the easiest upsell in the history of the world.
Okay.
Because he's used to the nomad life, where when you get a recommendation, they go, okay, this is the most efficient way to do it, because we need to use all the parts of the kill. So he's like, oh, okay, so this is more efficient because we're not burning through like bugs.
Yes.
I need those.
Okay.
That's how they fish here.
Okay.
And then he's kind of internalizing. It's like, maybe I could have got that one that got away if I had only had this. This is the key that I was missing.
Sounds good.
So that's how he'll see those. So we'll get some of that.
Okay.
He's not gonna get the fishing rod
or
the vest.
Okay.
It's a bit beyond his price range at the moment. I'm thinking so hard about these shoes though. Waterfowl skin, they're water resistant. I could show Small Mast or something he may have never seen, even though he's 78. Let's see. No, he'll wait. He'll wait. He's gonna thank this guy like profusely for his time. Because he's like, I understand. In spending like a long time talking to this guy, he's like, I only bought a couple things, so like, thank you so much for the information.
He thanks you for your time, and he says, my name is Cena Hill. And he reaches out to shake your hand, and it's pronounced or spelled, if you want to know that, SYNEYHIL. And he goes, as you move up the ranks, remember to come upgrade your gear with me.
Most certainly, Master Hill. And he will very awkwardly like follow suit and hold the hand out.
And he just kind of like gives a big like shake to it, and it kind of makes your arm do a wave as it's an unfamiliar thing to you.
He's gonna internalize. He goes, okay, this is another greeting to remember.
I don't know if you want a description of what he looks like.
Yeah, go for it.
So he is a sea wolf, Rugadine. Male, obviously. He is a little bit taller than you, which is kind of crazy because you're a tall guy.
Yeah.
But he's got a big blue tunic on with a brown vest. He's got green skin and kind of this like blue-green mohawk that he rocks.
Sick. Okay. Yeah. He's got mohawk. He will.
It's not like a punk rock, like really thin one. It's kind of like this whole bit here. Like just nothing, no hair on the sides, but just all top, and it's tall. Okay.
Yeah, Baatu's definitely going to take note of that, and he's going to grill Skarn and be like, is this the hair of the people you wish to emulate? Because I have seen it. We could do it for you.
It's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So with your new bait and things, it's starting to be like early afternoon, 2-3 o'clock.
Oh yeah. Okay. Baatu's gonna make his way back down to the fishing spot that he was at.
Okay.
And he's gonna he's gonna hook up a goby ball. And he's just gonna fling it out to the sea and just see what happens. Because he's fishing for himself now. Now he's taking some time to reflect on the new things that he's learned.
And then real quick, so you can addendum from your last kind of fishing journey and all the information you've been taking in from everyone around you, you've jumped to being a level 5 fisherman.
What? A level 5 fisherman? Oh my word! Does that change the 2 stats?
No. So how your tools and your equipment affect your stats. Your level affects kind of your just raw intuition on like where to fish and what you can catch, and also your knowledge of the gear.
Okay.
So
okay.
like hitting a certain threshold, you're like, that maple rod now, I get why that's useful, and that becomes a thing for you.
Cool. I love it. All right. He's hoping beyond hope to reel in one of those really powerful catches. But he's also like, he'll kind of pat the little anchovy that's in his shirt pocket, and he'll be like, all right, because now at this point he's probably hungry.
Okay.
So he's looking to catch a meal for himself.
Okay.
So we'll see what we can do. Let's make it happen. 4.
Okay. With your new experience, though, you feel a bite.
Oh! What? Oh my god. I mean, I gotta. $18.
18. And as you're pulling it in, it's kind of like nibbling, and you're like, oh, I pulled too soon, and you kind of let it sit for a sec, and then you feel that like full on latch, and you pull it in, and you catch another Lominsa anchovy.
Yes. Oh, catch. Okay. He's gonna attempt to catch one more.
Okay.
Because again, he's gonna internalize. Okay, you need 3 anchovies to do anything with anchovies, because that's the only benchmark he has for this fish.
Okay. You don't have your bucket unless you're using it again.
Oh no, he's gonna. He's fighting for himself. He's gonna take out the katana and just.
Okay.
Cut the head off. He's gonna be very. He'll debone it later, but for now he's like, I'm merciless and just.
These are for himself?
Yes.
Okay.
He's gonna try to catch one more. 10.
All right.
10 to throw it out.
Yep, and you'll feel a bite on that one.
Baby, come on. 17.
17, and you
easily fished for myself all day.
Easily reel in.
Here we go.
You got another anchovy.
Okay. Okay. So feel free to tell me I have to wait on this, but he's gonna attempt to culinarian some anchovy stew or something.
Okay.
He's gonna try to make something from his fish.
Okay. So this is one of my favorite things that I have on the books.
Okay.
Which is you're gonna roll a d20 and you're gonna add your culinarian level to it, which right now is 1.
1. Okay. So he'll kind of pack up all his gear. He'll fold away the fishing rod. He's gonna find a more secluded spot than where he's been fishing. And he'll just kind of set up a little cook stand. He'll start skilling it away.
Well, he's not cooking yet. This is your culinarian inspiration.
Okay.
On what you're good, what kind of dish.
Like what kind of dish? Oh yeah. 17.
Okay. So you actually come away with 2 ideas. The first idea.
On the second page of this quest here.
Upon inspecting the Lominsa anchovy, you notice there is a significant lack of meat on it.
Okay.
So there's not really a lot that you can work with. The first and easiest solution is just add a little salt and let it dry out, and to have it just be a little snack.
Like a little fish jerky.
Yeah, you might you're thinking that this might help sate some hunger on a long journey if things were tight, because the salt will help it last a long time, and it's not going to go bad, and they're really small, so you can carry a bunch of them, and it's just like a quick little snack, a little salty snack.
Okay.
The other idea that you kind of had from when you were in the Culinarians Guild, you saw the anchovies, is that some of them were being ground into a powder. and that was being used as both a fertilizer on their vegetables and also as a seasoning.
Ooh. Okay. Cool.
And the seasoning was being used in stews and such, not so much on meat, but to like more like broth based.
So used in stews as a seasoning or as a fertilizer. Okay.
And then
Like
now that you've discovered them, similar to Pokemon, I will make little recipe cards. And you will just have a little... if you want to get a Rolodex from Target or something, you can keep a little Rolodex of recipes that you discovered.
Yeah.
And just because that's a new thing and you wouldn't think to do it, this is something you can do, let's say, on the quest that you're missing. If they slay a shrew and someone's taking meat, you can look at that cut of meat and try to roll inspiration, like get a dish idea out of it.
Okay. Culinary ideas. So we can add salt and make it into like a little jerky kind of, a little salty snack.
Yeah.
Or we could pulverize it and put it in a stew as a seasoning. Okay. So
on a culinarian level, the idea behind that is something like that would help your dish become more high quality.
Okay.
And in the realms of this, that helps its effects last longer.
Gotcha. Okay. He's gonna attempt to make the seasoning.
Okay.
Because I think my thought at the moment, and that might just be low level culinary, is what he was talking about. My thought at the moment is if I make the little jerky anchovies, that's a snack for a little while, but it might go bad before I get back to the lads.
Okay.
So what he wants is to hopefully make a seasoning that might keep a little better, so that he can make food for the lads down the line and go, that anchovy seasoning.
Okay.
So he's gonna try to do that.
Okay. So let's roll a strength check.
Okay.
Here. And then do you have anything you're using to pulverize them?
Probably like the blunt end of a dagger.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like,
okay,
almost like a mortar and pestle thing. He's
Okay.
got like a little wooden bowl or something.
okay, just like a bowl he eats out of, and like the hilt of his sword. He's just kind of like
Yeah. Well, no, he wouldn't use
his sword.
He wouldn't use the sword.
Okay.
He would use like a dagger or like
Okay.
the blowgun or something to roll
Okay.
him out.
Okay.
But yeah, the katana is always like very neatly
Okay.
set on the floor.
And are you using all 3 anchovies or just one?
He'll start with just one because he's
Okay.
never done this, and he's like, all right, if this fails, I'll just salt and go. Hey guys, look at that.
Okay.
Look, I made jerky that didn't
All
keep
right.
very well.
Let's do a strength check.
Here we go. +3.
Okay. And this first one, it's your first time doing it.
Oh yeah.
So you're able to get some of it just kind of gets like smushed and it's like flat, but like there's a good like 2/3 of this anchovy you're able to get into like a powder.
Oh, cool.
And being a chef, you do have 3 empty spice bottles.
Okay.
So you'll put, I'm assuming, this powder in one of them.
Yes. So we'll have anchovy spice powder.
Having done your travels thus far, and this kind of like fun you're having with learning new things and thinking of new things, you kind of put to the back of your mind the idea of the like tackle box for like your cooking stuff.
Yeah. We're definitely going to be looking into some kind of ingredients pouch. Like, almost like if you went to like Home Depot and they have the like tool kits that you can open up and there's like the little segmenting compartments. He's going to probably look into getting one of those.
Okay.
Down the line, of course. Nothing instant. He's at this point. He's just like, okay, I have some little bottles, so we'll put some anchovy in there. I'm assuming one anchovy doesn't fill a bottle. Or
No, one full anchovy would fill about a third of it.
Okay, so if I were to take the other two
Yeah.
and do well enough, I could
You could
potentially fill.
Yeah.
Okay. He will try with one more fish
Okay.
to make some more seasoning.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think if he would internalize, if the bottle's like... Are we talking like a water bottle? Are we talking like a little...
Like a little, like about yay big,
If
for
you've got,
like a 3-inch tall little glass thing with like a little cork in the top.
So almost like a salt shaker size.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think how much of this he could use later.
Yeah.
But we'll cross the bridge when we get to it. For now, we're just trying to squish fish. 16.
16. The second one, it's a little easier, as you're able to crush the entire anchovy into dust and add it to your little container.
Excellent. Is that another third?
Yeah.
Excellent.
About 2/3 full.
Okay. He's gonna for the third fish. He's gonna try to preserve it and just see.
Okay.
He's gonna kind of diverge his path and see what could have been on either side of like, oh, if I had only made more of this.
Yeah.
Or if I had more of these later.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna attempt to preservate an anchovy.
Okay. You don't have any salt with you, so
You
I don't
are
know
correct.
if there's anything you want to do in that regard.
I don't know if I have a means to like. I wonder if, because I'm wondering if he could take like salt water
Mm-hmm.
and have it just evaporate and leave the salt behind, but that would take an awfully long time.
Yeah, you'd probably have to boil it or heat it.
Yeah. Because that just leaves the salt on the bottom of the
Mhm.
thing. That might not be a bad idea. Or... No, you know what he's going to do? He'll take the third one and go, okay, I should salt it, and go, oh, I don't have salt.
Mm-hmm.
So what he'll do is, for fear of not finding salt, he'll squish this one into seasoning as well.
Okay.
Because he's a realist. He's like, the fish isn't gonna last much longer, if at all. So you might as well get something out of it while you can.
Okay.
So here we go. It's a 19.
All right, and this one,
Strength.
just as easily, you're able to crush into powder as you fill up your little container of fish meal.
I squish the fish. Okay, so I have one full bottle or container of anchovy seasonings.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna make his way to he'll kind of pack up his little setup.
Okay.
Kind of re-equip himself with all of his gubbins, stick everything together, and he'll make his way towards the sign that said Fisherman's Bottom.
Okay.
He's quite curious.
Sure. Heading down the path.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
making his way downtown.
So as you come down this path, you just see a big wharf, and there's just like fishermen everywhere. And there's 3 different buildings. They all kind of seem to be operating independently of each other. Each with like fishermen coming in and out of, but none of them really going into each other. And that's what you see as you kind of come down this ramp.
Interesting. He's not the kind of person to just grab the nearest individual and be like, tell me what's going on. But he'll kind of observe for a minute and just see if there's a building that seems to be sort of the it place to be for a budding fisherman.
Okay. So let's roll a perception check.
Come on. 16.
16. So from what you're able to glean, there's 3 different buildings.
Okay.
And they all seem to be fishermen associated, but not with each other. And there are 2 in particular that are like fishermen. Just they're coming out with like the fanciest rods you've seen. They're like dressed to the part.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a third one, and the sign on it says Wawalagos Pullers. And you kind of see the people coming in and out of that have a much bigger variety. Like you see a guy that's coming out, he's got his fishing pole, but he's also wearing like a head to toe armor. And there's also a guy who is, he looks like he's from the Bismarck, and he's like trying to use a net to catch some fish. And you kind of see a more diversified crowd coming out of that one.
Definitely. He's, the net idea has certainly got his mind going, because that's probably closer to how he started as a fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been like nets or spears, and just kind of, but it would be like the whole tribe dragging a large net to catch all the fish and then scooping them into the beach. So he's probably the most intrigued by that. So he will enter the premises of Wawalagos Pullers.
Okay.
Boom.
Alright, so you're heading into that building.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So there are many a people in there, and you see kind of a similar setup to the Bismarck, where there is a counter and there are some people behind it. But let's roll a perception check real quick.
Most certainly. With bonuses, it's a 7. Without them, it's a 1. I'm intimidated as heck. There's so many fishermen going on here.
So you're really overcome
Oh,
because a vast majority of the people in here that are inside the building that look like they own and operate it are what you now know to be Lalafell. So just like tons of, if you will, small masters. And you're kind of overtaken, especially with your height, on like who's what rank and who does what. Just lots and lots of Lalafells.
Okay.
But the hold on one sec. Let me get the. I just want to make sure I'm remembering this correctly.
It's literally full of Lalafells. Oh no.
But much to your relief, there's one non-Lalafell, and it is the one that is running the counter.
Okay. I will, he's gonna be, like, overly cautious to the point that they might, like, see that it's very noticeable, but he's really trying not to step on or kick anybody.
Okay.
It's like he's walking through a room full of, like, kittens.
Uh-huh.
He's trying really hard to not bump into anybody, because he understands that he's quite large.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to be very respectful, but to the point that it's, like, almost ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He'll kind of gingerly make his way over to the counter. It's probably, is it like evening-ish times?
It's getting there. It's probably like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay. He will say, blessings of the moons upon you. It is a pleasure to enter your establishment. I am Baatu of Tribe Mankhad. I have come to inquire about this location known as Fisherman's Bottom.
This to the person behind the counter?
Yeah.
Okay. So the person you're talking to is a Makote. I don't know if Baatu would be familiar with what that is, but being a human with like cat-like ears and like very, very different eyes from what you're used to.
Okay.
She kind of says, yes, this is Fisherman's Bottom. This is where all the Lominsan fishermen clubs operate. We are Wawalagos Pullers. We are currently the only guild that accepts greenhorns, if you will, and those who don't profess fishing is like their main career, but kind of as a hobby. We don't see any reason to turn anyone away, unlike the other two here. And we're always looking for those eager to join our ranks.
Excellent. How would you phrase it? He basically is gonna ask like, would it be a problem to join the ranks if I'm already a member of an adventuring guild?
That's, yes, precisely what I meant. We're the only ones that take adventurers, where the others take exclusively fishermen.
Okay.
We're not opposed to you popping in every now and then, so to speak.
Perfect. And what would be expected of a potential new member?
So the idea here is that you will always work to better yourself and respect the ocean. Just because you catch a goby today doesn't mean you need it today.
Certainly.
And you can always release it back to the water. But should there be the city be in need of sustenance, we always come together as a group to help supply those that need it.
Of course.
So at times of emergency, we may call upon you, but other than that, the idea is to come here, better yourself, and as you progress, help those of lesser ranks progress through the guild, and kind of help us build and become a legion of master fishermen.
He's so excited. Basically, he's like, "Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. As long as it's not a problem that he's basically like, my first responsibility is to small master.
Mm-hmm.
But if you should need assistance and his life is not in danger, I would gladly come to the aid of this fine city."
Okay. Do you have? Let me put you on our record. So it's Baatu
of Tribe Mankhad.
Baatu of Tribe Mankhad. That's an interesting name. I'm Mulika of the N tribe.
Oh. Spell check.
So it's N
Mhm.
apostrophe.
Yeah.
NMULIKA.
Malika.
So the first word is always, or first letter is always silent. You never pronounce that, but that's what tribe they belong to. So that's why she kind of reciprocated, because that's how you introduce yourself.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Otherwise, she's just Mulika.
Mulika. Okay.
And yeah, she is a seeker of the sun, Makote. So
I'll write it down, but I don't think Baatu would know.
okay. And she says, "I have you in our records here. I have two final questions. The first one being, what guild do you associate with for contact purposes?"
He will say, I swear fealty to Small Master, but he will understand that name doesn't really, as much as he might like it to, it doesn't really mean anything in this part of the world. He says, if you should have need of me, seek out Walrum Willoughby.
Okay.
Or any other standing officer of the lads.
Okay. And she kind of adds that to her ledger. She says, "Very well. Well, while Wawalago himself is standing out near the pier, if you'd like to go introduce yourself to him, he is our guild master."
Yes, of course. He will have another small. Cheating on Warren. He's been out of my life for a day, and I've replaced him with another. Okay. I will... He will... Let's see, she's not a Rugadine, so he wouldn't do his Skarn impression. He would do probably what he'll do his traditional, like, thank you
Okay.
for your time.
And she just kind of waves.
Okay, and he goes, okay, people with ears wave. Got it. Duly noted. He's taking note of all the different greetings of the people he's never seen. Okay. And he will make his way out of doors in the general direction of this Wawalago.
Okay.
And I will see if I can see him.
So there are probably, like, you can see 10, maybe 13, no, like 17 different Lalafels out here, all fishing, and you are very unsure which is which as you start to take note that you should probably start asking who I'm looking for.
Okay.
When you are told to find people.
Yes. So he will, having already said his farewells to Malika, he will not head back inside. And he will just kind of deep breath. He's gonna look for a fisherman who is sort of in between casts, because he understands it's very disrespectful when somebody is sort of concentrating on the line.
Okay.
So he's gonna look for somebody who's kind of in between casts or who has just caught a fish that he might go up and say, hey,
Okay.
excellent catch, friend.
So
Something along those
let's do a
lines.
perception check. 8. Okay.
That's a
So
+6, by the way.
as you look out, they all have their backs to you.
Oh god.
And as you scan the horizon, there's like the third one in, he's kind of setting up his bait on his rod. You can kind of see him fiddling with something.
Okay.
Another couple in, you see 2 in a row that aren't fishing, and they're just kind of standing over watching. And then there's 2 more on this side that are kind of just chatting, but they're just like toes kind of dancing in the water, not really focused on what they're catching at the moment.
Okay. I will approach. God, what were their names? The 2 that were always fishing on Adamantoids?
Tina Tina and
No. Because Tina Tiny was just everywhere, but
Yeah.
there was always the 2, no matter what map you're in.
they're just fishing.
They're in the
I
most
don't
dangerous
remember.
spot, stealth and fishing.
I don't remember.
Anywho, all that aside, I will approach the 2 individuals who don't appear to be fishing per se, and he will in a respectfully hushed tone, kind of kneel down so as not to seem like he's talking down to them. He tries to like meet them on their level and just say, "Hello, I am Baatu. I seek the one known as Wawalago."
Okay, and then the one on your right just kind of like smacks the one on the left in the shoulder and goes, "Good luck with this one," and walks away. And the remaining one standing is, you recognize the same like Dunes folk that Small Master
Okay.
is. He's got a little like purple mustache, like a really light lavender mustache and like light lavender hair.
I like
And
it.
he goes,
Okay.
"Yes, I am Master Momolago. What can I do for you?"
You say Momolago? I will say, Malika sent me to introduce myself. I am Baatu. I am he wouldn't say new recruit, but he would say like whatever the Zayla equivalent of like he's like a fresh face. He's new blood to the
Like a pup.
yes. He's like new blood to the Fisherman's Guild of Wawalago's pullers.
And he goes, "Very well. I love new recruits. I see you have your own fishing pole here, although it's a little worse for wear. You'd like to join us, huh?"
I would.
And he kind of puts his hands at his side and gives a little bow.
Okay. Batu's gonna do his best while kneeling to also bow.
And he is a little older, not as old as Walroom, aka Small Master, but he is definitely older than all the other ones here.
Okay.
Past his prime. If you want to do an insight, I can give you an estimate or an exact number depending on how you do.
Let's make it happen. 15.
Okay, so he's older than 50.
Okay. Wawalago is 50 plus.
He's been around. And
He's seasoned.
He kind of starts talking to you about the Fisherman's Guild and kind of his journey. He was originally from Thanalan. And he was actually out fishing in Thanalan, and he was abducted by pirates and kind of put into slavery on the boat. But using his wit and his skill with both his knowledge of nature and his ability to fish, he was able to kind of win his freedom from these pirates. But he ended up here in Limsa Lominsa, and he was stuck here at first, but being in an area that is just surrounded by water and the ability to fish, unlike the dry deserts of Thanalan, he's kind of founded his home here, and having been here for more than 50 years, he's kind of established his own guild here, and he's excited to teach other people who haven't had the bounty that Limsa offers, to kind of teach them what to do.
Gotcha.
And he also informs you that today was a really strong drill for the new recruits, and they're wrapping up today, so he won't have any like activities for you. But should you find any more free time down the road, come in at sunrise, and he'll run you through the regiment.
Amazing. Okay. Let's see. Baatu will... He's gonna thank Wawalago profusely for his time.
Mm-hmm.
And say, I would very much enjoy learning all that you have to teach. And then now I have an aside for you. How long do you want to go before I need to get back to the lads?
So you have the ability to teleport back to the lads.
Oh,
so you don't have to like boat ride or anything.
Oh, I thought I had the like.
No.
Oh baby. Okay, cool. I'll say I will. Then he'll say I will be here at sunrise to learn what I can.
He goes, all right. It was a pleasure to meet you, Baatu of the Water Tribe. And he kind of... How's that for autocomplete? Baatu Mankhad. Let me start that over. I'll cut it. That's hilarious.
No, because that's what he does. I thought you were doing that as Malaga, because he always misspeaks and just changes what they do.
No, that's funny. That was just autocomplete from Avatar. That's incredible. That's hilarious.
Get that in the blooper reel.
So he goes, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our ranks, Baatu of the Mankhad tribe. And he kind of opens his giant like tackle box satchel, which is like easily half his body because he's so small.
Yeah.
And he reaches out and he pulls out a little like crimson feather, and he kind of just like sticks it in your outfit. And he's like, that's the sign of our guild.
Literally so honored. He'll kind of pat it and then give it another deep bow and just say, it has been an honor to speak with you this day. I shall see you when the sun crests above the sea.
All right. We'll see you then. And he kind of goes back to his recruits and he starts yelling at the two that are talking and not really doing anything.
Okay. And then Baatu's going to go, dang it, I should have said till the sea swallows all. Okay. So I've got a little pen.
You're getting pretty close to sunset.
Okay, so Baatu will... See, I passed through a tavern. Passed through the drowning wench. He will make his way back to that area.
Back up top?
Yeah. He'll head back up there, and he'll sort of he's gonna see if he can find a place to stay, or if he sort of has to figure it out on his own. Basically, he's gonna go to. Oh, and while he's at it, he'll make his way to the big crystal, and he'll go touch it.
Okay. And as you touch it, you kind of attune to this aetherite crystal, and it kind of connects with you in a way that you are able to identify it as an exit. As you travel, like as you teleport through aether, you can kind of recognize that's Limsa and shoot out.
Okay.
So that becomes a teleport location for you.
Excellent.
That does not apply to your friends. So
okay, so I can go here, but I can't bring them with me.
Yes.
Duly noted. So if we get the call that Limsa's in need, I can go. Peace out, fam.
Yeah.
Bounce over here, help him out, and then.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, so he'll attune to the aetherite crystal, and then he'll make his way to the drowning wench.
Okay.
Where he will once again attempt to identify the proprietor of an establishment.
Good luck.
From the doorway. 10 plus 6, 16.
So as you look around the drowning wench, there are 4 different counters.
Oh, Baatu.
There is one that even you recognize as being like an inn, and there's a person kind of running that.
Beautiful.
And he's got like the mailbox system for that, and like keys for different rooms. There's one over where there's just a guy in like this kind of like red getup. It's like kind of like a coat, a little hat, and he has kind of something similar to what you guys have back at the guild. There's like a missive board of things like the goings on of the city, and you see other adventurers kind of talking to him.
Okay.
And then you see another counter. It's like a big bar, and there's a couple people sitting up there. You notice the guy kind of behind there is like waving to people as they come in and out. He seems to know most of the people's names that are in here.
Okay.
And then there's another one that seems to be a gate, and behind it you kind of notice it is like an airship port.
Okay.
So that's there. And then you see another table where there is a man playing cards with 5 different people.
Whoa. Okay. Batu's a reasonable man. He will make his way to the counter that looks like an inn.
Okay.
And he will figure out who's in charge over there and attempt to communicate in a normal fashion.
Okay. Are you saying anything as you approach?
He won't say anything until he gets to the counter.
Okay.
And then he'll do a very deep bow and just say, "Hello, I'm Baatu of Tribe Mankhad, and I would seek to procure temporary residence in this establishment."
Sure. Our rooms here run 120 gil a night.
Okay. He goes, "That seems reasonable." But inside he's like running the numbers. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of rat tails. He's like, that's more than the shoes that he almost bought. So he's glad he didn't buy the shoes. But he'll say, absolutely, if I could procure a room for the night.
Okay.
Happily. He will produce the coins and he'll start counting them out.
Okay. Are you sure? Because you can just teleport home and sleep at the guild and come back. Like, that's an option.
What? Oh, never mind.
That's the whole point.
Oh. Scrap that. Never mind. Okay, never mind. He will
because that's kind of just
Okay.
the breaking fourth wall here first. Like that's kind of the idea of this, so that no matter what, the session is going to end with you guys at home base. So no matter who can and can't show up, you're in the same spot when you start again.
Okay. Cool. So I will instead. He'll find a quiet place to meditate, think deeply of home, and he will return to the lads' guild hall.
Okay. And you return to the guild hall. It puts you kind of right outside the building.
Okay.
And you guys will kind of decide how that looks. And you go into the guild hall, and there's kind of one big entry room. There's like a couple couches to sit on. There's like your guys' mail and the missive quests that you've received.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a basement, which you guys use for something you'll decide whether it's crafting or sparring or something. And then up in the main room there's a hall, and each of you has a room in the hall.
Perfect.
And you, since technically you're first, you can Walrum's is the first room, but of the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms, which room is yours? First or second on the left or the right?
So if I'm coming in, there's left 1, left 2.
No,
right
it'd
one,
be
right
Walrum,
two.
and then there's 2 more, and then on the right there's 2.
I will be the room directly across from Walrum.
Okay.
In the event of a break-in, I would like to be able to secure his safety.
Okay.
That's how he would see that.
And as you walk into the room, there is a modest bedchamber. There's this kind of like hammock that you have, because the other cots didn't really do it for you. The hammock kind of reminded you more of home.
Oh yeah.
And then you kind of have this big trunk that you can store stuff in that you're not taking on the adventure that you're going on.
Gotcha.
So if you're going specifically to go do combat and you're like, I'm not going to be fishing, you can leave your fishing stuff here.
Okay.
And vice versa. Like, I don't need to bring my battle gear with me or whatever.
Gotcha.
So that's, other than that, you've got one nice window in there, but the room is pretty bare and yours to do with as you please.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, he'll lay out all of his equipment very methodically on the floor of the room. He'll sort of get down on his knees and do another brief prayer to the kami for a blessed day.
Mm-hmm.
That was full of surprises, twists and turns, and all manner of new discoveries to share with the others. And then he will sort of finish up. He'll procure some manner of food for himself. He'll probably make an extra ration of whatever he cooks or makes.
Okay.
And he'll leave a little placard that says "For Small Master."
Okay. And as you're kind of setting this up, the door opens as the rest of your guild walks in, and that is where we will end today.
Oh snap, son! Welcome home. They're gonna be like, "Hey, we gotta go." Be like, "Actually, it's sunrise. I got somewhere to be." Be like, "Come on, dude."
All right. Well,
Perfect.
thanks for listening to the little side story here of Baatu Mankhad as he begins his journey into fishing and cooking. And we will catch you next time with whoever's playing.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye, everybody.